Welcome back to Beyond the Doll Room. Grab your drinks and any snacks, sit back, relax, and let's begin today's video. So this is Paul. He's Cindy's boyfriend and he was actually introduced in 1965. So the Paul dolls, like the early Sindy dolls, have this really weird, specific neck peg. It's kind of like a bowling pin, is how I describe it. And it's definitely not suited for a more modern doll body. So I had to think up a way to try and make it fit. So I actually started this project several years ago now, way before I made a YouTube channel. And recently I actually came across some old footage and I decided it was finally time to finish this project. Because Paul's neck is much longer than a modern Ken's, I had to physically alter it to make the swap work, and he definitely deserves a more articulated body, so I had to try. So off came Ken's head, and then Paul's. So this next part was really nerve-wracking, I won't lie. The doll was already, looking quite rough. And it was a very experimental project. I didn't really know what I was doing, to be honest. So I started by carefully cutting down his neck using a craft knife, and then I cannibalized the parts of the original neck to rebuild a much shorter one that would fit, like a made-to-move Ken's body, because that was the goal. So to fix everything in place, I did use clay, specifically the Milliput in white, and it worked out well. And after that was dry, I sanded it a little bit and then I added some acrylic paint to match his skin tone. And then after that, next came his beard. I wanted Paul to look a lot different and honestly more appealing, because people aren't really fans of these dolls, unlike Sindy. So I did try a few methods to make him look a lot better. I used some teddy bear fabric. I used this in different shades and lengths as well. I tried to paint facial hair on him. But in the end, I did go with the tiny strands cut into pieces and glued onto his face, to mimic like a flocked look. That's what I was going for anyway. It was very tedious work. I also wanted to give Paul real hair as well. So there are rooted Paul dolls out there, but at the time when I started the project, I was working with what I had and I didn't have one of those. So naturally, I shaved his moulded hair off with sandpaper and a heated craft knife. At this point, I was mostly guessing and experimenting. I literally generally didn't know if it would work or not, or if I'd just ruined a vintage doll. But once I started adding his new hair, it quickly covered his misshapen head. So all was well. I did keep the back and sides mostly in touch, partly by choice and partly because I'd had enough of rerouting at this point, honestly. I almost kept it long, then I cut it, then panicked that I cut it too short, but it actually turned out well in the end, so it's fine. I also attempted some eyebrows. Okay, are they perfect? No, but they'll do for now. And at the end of the day, I'm not a professional doll artist, so they are how they are. So when that was done, I decided to clean up his hair. So just like I'd done for his beard, I cut those tiny pieces of doll hair and then I glued them to the sides and the back of his head to mimic like a shaven haircut. And then of course, with a new look comes new clothes. So I went online and I ordered him a bunch of outfits. So let's see Paul's final reveal. I'm so happy that I've been able to finally finish this project, and I think it was worth the wait, honestly. I'm pretty sure Sindy approves of Paul's new look, and I do too. So I just want to say thank you for you all being so patient with me, and I hope you all enjoyed Paul's makeover. So remember to stay creative, stay spooky, and most importantly, stay true to yourself. And hopefully I will see you all again soon. Bye.